Hello everybody, how are you doing? Amy remembered to turn the music down today, so
I did the thing.
you should be able to hear me. As always, let us know how we sound. If we're too loud, too quiet, fuzzy.
Yeah, tell us.
Tell us how it goes. Stream's bitrate is lower than recommended. Go away, YouTube. There's a little bit of chat in the chat. Hello, everybody. About where you can. We can hear you, says Kimberly. About where you can read or watch or see stuff. You are correct. Chapter 3 of High Hopes and Rolls comes out on Friday, which is in 2 days' time. It's Wednesday today.
Yeah, man.
9th of July. You can find information about all those things on our channel, on Alice's channel, AVD Illustrates. You can find that on Twitter at swizardco, on Tumblr at highhopesandrolls.tumblr.com. You can find it on Instagram at the Shrieking Wizard Co. I think that's everywhere that we have.
Yes.
Hey lads, so Amy had some art to do, which is why we're here.
Hell yeah.
Fancy doing another midweek because these are fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed these.
Last week's was successful.
Yeah.
And I enjoy it. I like hanging out with all of you lot.
It's just us at the moment, but maybe some other wizards will join us.
Yeah.
We got the Discord open so they can bounce in.
Well, I don't, but if they want to join, they can just shoot me a message and I'll open it up.
Okay. Yeah, maybe I'll message them just to remind them that it's happening. What was I saying?
Don't
know. We sound clear according to Kimberly, so that's nice.
Nice.
Oh, I know what I was going to say. We are not streaming on Saturday. This Saturday coming.
We got a lot of stuff to do.
Because there's a lot happening already.
Oh, guys, I'm so excited for this weekend.
Also, we're going to be streaming both before and after the episode comes out.
Yeah.
So you're going to get a lot of us both live and recorded.
Yeah, so you get to still hang out with us this weekend.
Yeah.
Man, I am very excited. Because there's just so much that you guys are going to see.
A whole bunch of new stuff.
Yeah.
And I personally am excited to work on something else.
Yeah, like, I'm not apologising for how long this has taken because we've worked really hard on this.
Yeah, and also, like, I don't know if you've noticed, but there's been a pandemic.
Yeah.
We're actually still in.
It's difficult.
It's been a tough year.
Yeah, when you are meant to be working essentially full time, which is what we've been doing on this, with a bunch of people who also are working on this full time while also working full time in other jobs. It's a lot of work, and I'm very proud of us for considering how much we've all had to fucking deal with this past year, as has everyone. Yep. We've done pretty fucking well. You know?
Yeah. But the real thing to take away from this is that, like, you know, well, onwards and upwards to greater, bigger things.
Yeah, 100%.
More things, actually. We got plans, y'all.
I'm very excited. I cannot wait for you guys to find out.
Yeah, there's so much coming on Friday. But anyway, we'll be around on Alex's channel at... Oh, fuck, I'm going to fuck this up now. 7 p.m. on Alex's channel.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm supposed to tell you this. Fuck it. The episode, chapter 3, will come out at 7:30 p.m. British summertime, which is UTC +1. And that will be a premiere. So if you joined us on the stream beforehand to get hype, to have a little bit of a party, I don't know what we're going to talk about, but it'll only be half an hour, and God knows I can run my mouth or two, so half an hour shan't be a problem.
We've got a lot to say.
And then we'll watch it all together. We'll watch it together. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be like a 15-minute break whilst
we manically post everything
we
online.
both post everything everywhere, update all kinds of stuff, and then have a lie down, face down on the floor in the dark
for 5 minutes.
for 5 minutes.
Before we jump back on the live
And
on
then,
our channel.
On our channel, we go live at 8 p.m. BST, UTC +1.
Don't know how long for.
No,
I don't
me
think we
neither.
specified.
Don't think we decided. I think that depends on how if people want to join us. Like, if there's only one person there, probably only going to be 15 minutes. If there's like more than 100, you know, we could go for ages.
Hey guys, if you have questions about the episode, don't ask them now. Save them for the weekend. Save them for Friday.
Yeah.
Bring them with you after you've watched the episode, and then we can just sit down, chill out, do a Q&A, and then we won't set a finish time. We'll go for as long as it feels necessary.
Yeah, as it feels appropriate.
Yeah, and then we'll hang out, we'll have a good chat, and, you know, we'll have a good time. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I say, I enjoy hanging out with you lot because you're all a good bunch of eggs. I say it the wrong way every single time. It's a bunch of good eggs is the right way, but I say a good bunch of eggs. It's the new way it's said.
Yeah, that will be bright and early for the Americans, I suppose, if you're on the West Coast. Sorry, I keep getting notifications that are like throwing me through a loop because I'm signed into both my Instagram and the Wizard's Instagram. I get it tells me which account it is first in brackets before it tells me the notification. So I just got Jennifer Lucy Budd, and then I didn't, which is my Instagram account, and then I couldn't read. It just said is going live now with another person. I was like, what the fuck? I don't know. What? I'm live on YouTube with Amy. But no, it's just telling me that somebody I'm following is going live. Anyway, hey Ray, hey, how you doing, everybody?
Jenny, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Did I
ever
go through an emo phase?
Yeah, I did.
Did you?
Yeah, of course
I knew you went for a weeb phase, but I didn't know.
Everybody had an emo phase.
Yeah, but I didn't think you did.
Well, I was born in the 90s. Everybody had an emo phase.
I thought you had. I knew you definitely had a weeb phase, but didn't know.
Let's not talk about that dark time. My emo phase wasn't very long. My best friend at the time, Ellie, was super into My Chemical Romance.
Oh my god, who wasn't?
She was, well, me. She was the actual emo.
Oh, right, I see.
And I'm going to very politely say emo adjacent. Like,
right. You were aware of what was going on, but you weren't really in it.
Yeah, and like I kind of wore a lot of black and but I never I didn't have any band tees, for example, because I didn't listen to any of those bands.
Oh my god, I had so many band t-shirts.
I thought My Chemical Romance was okay. Ellie was like
in love.
Yeah. I mean, she still is. Like, she went to almost every single concert they did in the UK. Really? I think she went to the continent to watch them in Europe.
Oh, cool.
Every
That's
album,
dedication.
every documentary, every and then Jaraway started writing the Umbrella Academy, and she was like, "This is amazing," and I was like, "I'm happy for you. I'm here to support you. Can we talk about something else?"
Yeah, please, for 5 seconds.
Yeah, no, I had, but the thing is, I was one of the sort of like overarching themes of my childhood is that I didn't feel like I had any agency. Like, not because I didn't have any agency.
What do you mean by agency?
So like the ability to do things of my own will.
Right.
Like, for example, I had long brown hair, like a lot of girls did, and I was like, okay, well, and also this was also at a period of time where, I mean, only like 10-15 years ago now, where coloured hair was like just not a thing in the UK. Like if you had coloured hair, you were an actual freak.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to dye my hair because, like,
I mean, who didn't?
Yeah,
it was
'cause
the
it was
coolest shit
cool.
ever.
But also, like, you know, part of the emo thing was like, oh god, did you see those girls? Those scene girls?
Oh my god, I wanted to be one of those so bad.
Like everybody wanted to be seen. I just wanted to dye my hair, but I that would involve asking, not for permission, but for assistance in those matters from my mother.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I need to go get a haircut because I didn't want long hair, for example.
Yeah.
I need to dye my hair. Like, and my mum would have said yes, 100%.
Yeah.
She would have, well, except maybe the hair dye thing, because the school rules were like nobody can have.
Yeah.
Annoyingly. Yeah. But I felt like I couldn't ask, and I just don't really know why. I that's something I put on myself. Like I was like too afraid to ask. For
like
things.
there's that kind of like, so in the UK you got the chavs and you've got the emos, and they hate each other.
Hate each other.
Absolutely despise each other. And then you got like the middle people who are like I guess like the normies, who just sort of like float around and do their own thing. If you're like, you're safe when you're in the normie group. You're safe, and I can imagine like, I wanted to be an emo so bad. I wanted the scene hair so bad, and I tried my hardest. But I found that whenever the attention was drawn to the fact that I was a bit emo, I was just savagely attacked by the chavs. And therefore, like, kind of makes you scared to, like, do that thing. Oh my god, when I first started wearing eyeliner to school, the shit that I got.
Yeah.
Crazy.
There's that too, right? Like, the whole eyeliner thing. So when you met me, Amy, I was like, I could not go outside without putting on eyeliner.
Yeah,
like I just could not face the public without the
it was like who you were,
fucking cat line or whatever.
Yeah.
That is weird because like as a child, like up until my first job after college, so I would have been 18, I just did not give a fuck about makeup at all. And then I got a job, and I thought, and I was working in a jeweler's, and I thought I should probably make an effort to look a little bit nice because it's supposed to be, you know, it's jewellery, right? I'm selling gold and diamonds.
Yeah.
I should put on some eyeliner. And then I couldn't take it off. And now we're here, in the sort of like tail end of the pandemic, where I'm like, fuck it. This is my face, bitches.
Yeah.
But, like, I think the emo versus chav thing, right, is like, right, so I didn't do that at school, is what the tail end of that story was. Like, I didn't really have much of an emo phase because, like, all of the accoutrement, the eyeliner, the music, the hair dye, the clothes, right? Like, I didn't, either felt like I didn't have the agency to do it or I wasn't interested. Yeah. So I was just, like, I don't know, fake depressed. And wore a lot of black clothes. Yeah. My thoughts on the emo versus chav thing is that like chavs will attack anything that they don't recognize. Yeah. But also like I feel like emo is like superficial punk, right? That's kind of where it wants to be. Like. If it were to be a thing today, because like you could be an emo and be a homophobe, but you can't be punk and be a homophobe. That's not punk. No. You know, punk is stepping on the throat of the man. Emo is like paying the man to dye your clothes black. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's partially part of it as well, is that like chavs were like, because punk especially in the UK has this really violent reputation. I think that's kind of like where it came from, was like the original sort of like fighting like each other in the streets
Sex
thing.
Pistols, all that sort of shit.
People chavs not really recognizing that it's much softer. Yeah. Anyway,
very poetic.
So, if I've not chased any of you off with my terrible opinions about emo, let's have a look at what the chat's saying. Ooh, Kimberly has a question about Shrike. I'm here to answer that if you want to pop that in the old chatterino. Everlasting Ryce says that I don't think they ever left their emo phase.
Oh, same bro.
Same
I just
bro.
evolved into a goth.
Yeah.
Which goths are just like some of the best people you're ever going to meet. They're such a bunch of softies. I love them.
Chaos says that they don't think they had an emo phase. I'm basically been goth punk since I was 8.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Kimberly was a nerd and a theatre kid and therefore didn't have an emo phase either. Kimberly, you do strike me as way too sensible to have had an emo phase. I wish I had the guts to have an emo phase, says Alec. I don't know. I don't know.
I wouldn't bother.
I wasn't in the culture, if you will. Like, I didn't listen to any of the music or anything, so I was a wee pretending to be an
See,
emo.
like, I wouldn't say that I like kind of wanted to be like, I wanted to look seen, but I didn't like I didn't like the emo bands, like the typical emo bands, like oh my god, please don't kill me for this, but like
you just said you loved My Chemical Romance. I can't.
Yeah,
think
but
of
like
a-
My Chemical but the thing is though, with
Collabo.
My Chemical Romance, I only came
Panic at
into
the
them.
Disco.
Yeah, I only came into them during their Danger Days album, so I was really late coming
Right, I
into
see.
My Chemical Romance. So I really liked that kind of retro theme that they were going for towards the end. And like, I don't know, like I was really into, I suppose a lot of like punk emo-y people
Mhm.
do like, you know, like old metal bands
Mhm.
like Ozzy Osbourne
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
Black Sabbath
Mhm.
and Metallica,
Yeah.
Pantera, oh my god, Megadeth, that's the other one. I only really got into that music because of my boyfriend at the time,
Yeah.
and it's kind of stuck. I never really grew
Yeah.
out of that.
Well, I mean, you know.
I like legit fell in love with that music.
Yeah. Even if you did not fall in love with the man.
No, absolutely not.
Do you remember 2009?
Of course.
Okay, it's
The
this,
hell year.
Everybody close your eyes and imagine. Well, you don't have to close your eyes, but imagine with me. Okay, it's the summer of 2009. You're hurtling through the Wiltshire countryside.
Wiltshire.
Either I feel like I'm on my way to school, which is weird because like it was sunny, it was warm. I was in a good mood, so I must have been leaving, right? It is a beautiful day, and I have either, based on how bad my memory is, just crested the hill of the vale in which my school was, or I'm about to descend into it.
Right.
There are sheep to my left, there's a field to my right, and the valleys undulate before me. On the radio, there is a war happening between My Chemical Romance's The Black Parade and a Scissor Sisters song I forget the name of.
My god.
And it is the peak culture war that I somehow managed to skirt under at my school. Even at my teeny tiny little country school with maybe 900 kids in it. It was like, whose side are you on? Are you in the Black Parade? Are you in the Black Parade?
I'm not here.
I was asked.
Oh my god.
No. Do I look like I'm in My Chemical Romance? Yeah. The only thing I really remember from that period of time was that the drummer was called Bob and he cut his hair short and dyed it blonde, and
Oh yeah, and then he
everybody went
left.
absolutely mad for him. I don't know. I have literally no
I
clue.
think he left at one point, and then they got a replacement drummer. And I know that Gerard Way's brother was the bassist.
I don't know why, but that just like triggered me to be like, Ringo's not even the best drummer in the Beatles. So Kimberly's question about Shrike was that they looked at what kind of bird shrikes are, and apparently they like to impale their food on thorns to better eat them. They're called butcher birds, for heaven's sakes. Is that indicative of the Lunara patriarch? It is not.
No, I think Matt just liked to. He just had a theme for his family, didn't he?
Well, not Hollians in general. They're naming scheme, if you can call it a scheme, is quite literal. So, like for example, Rosa is called Rosa. Her mother is called Lilia, right? They're named for her matrilineal line is named for plants. Rosa's present partner is Saxum, right? I can't remember what Saxum's father was called, but their patrilineal line is named for earthen materials.
Right.
You have the Luneras, who are Shrike, Kestrel, Rook, and Jay. They're birds. Ernest's father was called Ardent, right? They're named for this particular character traits.
Right.
In the city, there is a blacksmith called something. And her husband is called Asher. And their child is called Ember, I think.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
What's her name? It doesn't matter, but you get the point. It's like super. It's very literal. It's like reverence of the observed world.
I see.
Would be the way I put that. Darren was 4 in 2009. Bold of you to assume I can remember that.
Oh my god.
That's upsetting, isn't it?
Oh my god, what a baby.
I was 15 in 2009. I turned 16 in that summer. The Black Eyed Peas, I've Got a Feeling, was number 1.
If I was 96, how old would that have made me? 2006, 10, 7, 8, 9, 13. I was 13. Would have just turned 14 because I'm May. Yeah, 14.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Tonight's gonna be a good night. Yeah, it's because you're 16 and you've got 2 litres of Strongbow to get through.
Oh god. Oh no. And you're always at a party in a field.
Yeah.
Underage drinking. It's always in a field. And there's like really shit beer and you're all underage and you'll get
beer though, it's cider, right?
Cider.
It's really shit cider.
Or it's like green bottle beer
Somebody's
that
got
nobody
some
wants.
White Star or something. Have you seen that? Like fucking vinegar.
WKD. And you're all absolutely wasted.
Bobra left because his wrist got fucked up and he retired from music and MCR. Oh, that's
Well, at least they left on good terms.
Yeah. I'm just gonna move the microphone down. Sorry. Just sort of. Oh, there we go. Kimberly was 21 in 2009. That's okay, Kimberly. Somebody has to be.
Somebody has to remember the bad times in HD.
Yeah. Also, 2008 was the financial crash, so I've had a really good life. Like it just goes 1 to 1. Like every decade, at the start of every decade, something fucking awful happens. Iraq War, 2008 financial crash, pandemic.
Fucking hell.
Well, if I can include the Trump presidency in this and the current Conservative premiership in the United Kingdom. Anyway, yes, Rosa does have a current partner. As to where we are in the story, he is also from Knothole. We're not super discussed, obviously, because he's not in the story yet, and
Spoilers.
God knows there is enough talking about men without jumping forward to ones that aren't in the story yet.
Although I must say, I do very much love Hashaan's partner.
Yeah, me too.
Well,
he's cool.
He's a good boy.
I was about to say he's David Harewood, but that's who we want him to.
Yeah.
Who we'd want to play. He has a book out. David Harewood.
Oh, he does?
Coming out soon, yeah, about him growing up as basically as like a child of the Windrush, and he was he had a mental breakdown when he was 21 and put in a like so bad that he was institutionalized.
Oh, bless him.
And his book is about his mental health and like his experience with racism, where he was like, I'm not even sure I belong here anymore.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, sickening, isn't it?
Yeah, and he's such a nice guy.
Mm.
He's so lovely. He plays if you don't know who I'm talking about, he currently plays John Jones, the Martian Manhunter on Supergirl. Ray says, can I say that I love that you use partner instead of like girlfriend, boyfriend? Yeah, it's because those words are crap.
They are a bit.
Like, I mean, they're like obviously like there's loads of like really good reasons to use partner that are like inclusive and protective of our community, but the reason I don't like girlfriend or boyfriend is because it makes it sound like we're talking about children.
Yeah, it feels a little bit childish.
Yeah.
I'm like at an age now that if I was with someone, they're my partner, you know? Like,
also, like, you know, they're my partner in like paying the rent. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Feels a little bit more grown up.
Yeah. Although I did say boyfriend earlier when regarding my ex.
Yeah, but you were kids, right?
Yeah. Oh my god, it's so long ago.
The Oka Moka. Thank you very much for the Noka bucks. What are they? Noka bucks. I forget every time. I'm so sorry. We should just call them Orca bucks. I think Orca Moka is the only person who donos from Denmark. Fuck, I'm so sorry.
Sorry, dude.
Every action has an equal or an opposite reaction. We got the wizards on the list of good things at the start of this decade. Orca bucks of positivity. Hey.
Aww.
Thanks so much. That's a good point. Not everything is bad. It's just the big ones tend to stand out.
Oh, I was just gonna say because I love talking about Hashaan and her partner.
Yeah, we should talk about Hashaan.
But I mean we don't have to. But like in chapter 1 on Alex's channel, you can actually see her partner because he's in one of the frames very briefly, where Alex is delivering messages, and he's the gold
Paddy.
dragonborn that you see. That's Hashaan's partner. I love him very much. Me and Hashaan love him very much.
Yeah, I got Denmark right. Nice. I think it was Kimberly who said, did I see a wedding ring on Hashaan's finger, on Hashaan's hand last week?
She's not married. They're not married. I don't know if they ever will get married or not.
Probably not, no. I don't know if it's really a thing.
No, I don't think it is.
I feel like it's an institution of old Byroth.
Yeah.
And also he's not, I don't know.
I feel like it's not his thing.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's his thing.
Hashaan would probably be like, hey, do you want to have a cheeky party that celebrates just me and you? But
yeah, probably down for that, but I don't know if you want to be like married.
Yeah. He wouldn't, I don't think he would want to turn around and be like, Hashaan's my wife. A bit too formal for him.
Yeah.
He's a very wise man, but he's not not necessarily traditional, is he? Like.
Yeah, no, he specifically
he like purposely broke away from that.
He fled tradition. Yeah. That's why he's in Kedar. Oh my gosh, the monk?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's him. His name is Balasar.
He's a bit older than her.
And when we get to him again, I'm gonna chop off all of his hair tendrils.
Yeah, you don't like the way
them.
You don't like his current design, do you?
No, I don't. Mr. Monk Man? Question mark? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Once you get to like know his character, you understand why they work, I think.
Yeah. I think also because Hashaan hasn't been on screen or page yet, really, right? I think when you see them actually, both when you have Hashaan realised for you, but also when you see them interact, you'll get it.
I'm excited. I'm a fucking sucker for shit like that. I love it.
Okamorka has a language question for Ignis that I am interested in, but being English, I fear to pronounce the special letter thing that's in the middle of those words. Juicy deets, yeah. Here's some of the juicy deets. When Paddy meets Rosa, like you see in chapter 1.
Boo!
Whoa!
Boo is snoring so loud, guys.
Bloody hell, what's up with you? She's like a little croissant. Croissant.
Sorry, Jenny, what are you talking about? I sort of stopped paying attention for a second because I was looking at my phone.
Oh, when Paddy meets Rosa in chapter 1, she's actually hiding from Hashaan.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
I want to
'Cause,
ask why, but I don't know if we can talk about it.
Because, like, at that point in their relationship, it's quite early on, I think.
Right.
Like, realistically. They probably only know each other a couple of months. And she's not, like, hiding from Hashaan in the sense that she doesn't like her and she wants to be on her own. It's that, like, Hashaan is protective and Rosa doesn't want to do authority, even though she kind of is in this position already. So Hashan's like, well, you can't just go out. I have to go with you.
Yeah.
Because you're the mayor of the city and I'm your bodyguard / whatever.
Sounds like give me a break.
And Rosa's like, okay.
Did I say Hashaan or Rosa?
You said Hashaan.
Oh, sorry, I meant Rosa.
But it works both ways,
Yeah.
right? Like, Hashaan turns around and is like, okay, what's for today? And Rosa's gone, missing.
And
It's
Hashaan's like, fuck's sake.
Yeah, give me a break.
Yeah, I don't know if they were ever like. They were work friends, I would say. I wouldn't say they were like friends outside of work. I don't know. I don't really know. We haven't really discussed it, have
Not
we?
really.
We haven't had a chance.
I think they were pretty. They weren't like. Well, they're both quite private people. I think.
Definitely support each other, I think, in a sense.
Yeah, no, 100%. Right, they both recognize. Ooh. Hang on a minute. Oh my god, Ray brought us a coffee.
Aww.
Thanks so much, Ray. So
Thank
many juicy
you.
deets in this stream.
You
Hell
spoil
yeah.
us every time.
You do. It's so nice. Thank you very much. I'm gonna jump back into the window. Right, so they're both like women in positions of authority, right? They are also both women who have experienced like a large amount of like suffering and loss, right?
They've been through it.
And have really been through it by the time they meet each other. And they have really similar goals. They both speak a language that the majority of the people around them don't.
Yeah.
They both really love sugary things.
Yeah.
So I think they get on really, really well, and they are actually really good friends. But I think they both have, like, because of their actual jobs, this sort of like Hashaan would be. I think they would both be surprised to learn the details of each other's lives.
Yeah, 100%.
Like their private lives, because like they're both balancing like how much is professionally acceptable for me to tell my friend because we're of the positions we're in, but also
Oh, thank you, Jazzy TV.
who is y'all's impulse control at the Wizards?
I don't know. We're all pretty good. Although we do usually go to Jenny to be like, can we say this? Like,
Yeah, I'm also the one who runs the bank account, so
yeah.
I don't know. We don't really make like huge decisions, do we? Like
No.
impulsive ones, like together. Except maybe like when Matt's like, "I want to go to the beach," and then
We're like, but we're working, Matthew.
yeah, but Matthew, we're doing work. I want to go to the beach. I want to stand in the sea.
Oh man, going back to Hashaan and Rosa. Sorry, I love these conversations. They're my favorite.
Yeah, no, they're really good.
I love the idea that Hashaan is no longer scared of anyone because she worked for Rosa. Rosa just fucking explodes in the corner and Hashaan doesn't even flinch. She's like, whatever.
Yeah.
I've seen it before. Try something new.
Yeah. There's actually really a good point. Like how, being angry doesn't, like, to get your way doesn't work with Hashaan anymore.
No.
Because, like, Rosa would just do that all the time.
But also there's this, like, Hashaan is ready to shout and get angry in order to make a point, but nobody else does it. And it's only ever Rosa that does that. And Hashaan is shocked when nobody else does that. So
thank you very much for the £2, Jazzy. That's very nice. Jazzy TP. Let's have a look. Based on vibes, Beth seems the impulse control. Lol.
In high hopes, yeah, probably.
Yeah. I would imagine Rosa and Hashaan both really wanting sweet during a serious meeting, but being too proud to enact like they don't want.
Oh my god, there'd be like a platter of like really good cakes in the middle. Hashaan and Rosa sitting opposite each other,
staring at each other, not really paying attention to what's happening in the meeting because they're both like, I'm not going first.
You go first.
I'm not taking one first.
So like Hashaan would definitely be like, you're the mayor.
Yeah, well, and that's why I can't take it first. It's not polite. Yeah, just like this silent argument happening. Was Hashaan in chapter 1? She's not.
No, she doesn't come in for a while yet.
No,
You've got a while before you meet her.
It's going to be a little while. Was Hashaan an NPC before Amy played her? No.
Nope. Hashaan was a...
It's just that she's quite entrenched into the politics of Kadar. So we've got quite a lot... like, there is, like, this period right now that we're in with this story where the party are in Rundar and Amy's playing Gimgar. We know what Hashaan was doing because it has impact on other stuff.
I'm trying to think how I'm going to colour these two.
Rosa literally killing the final boss because she's in a rage. Hashaan not bothered.
Hashaan, I've seen that before.
By the way, Rosa's explosion in Sarah's Tower gives me chills every time. Thank you very much.
Yeah, she's a very cool lady.
Yeah.
I do love Rosa. Like, there's definitely been moments where I've been like, for fuck's sake, Rosa. But like, a lot of the time, there's like definitely a lot of admiration from me, but also Hashaan as well. Hashaan really admires Rosa. I think she's like hot shit,
I think that's because, like, outside of like the odd argument or whatever that they have, I think Rosa does a really good job of hiding, like, because her major flaw is like she's really quick to be angry and really quick to make a stupid decision because of that, right? I think she does quite a good job of hiding that, like, day to day, and also in front of, like, like employees or civil servants and that kind of thing, like people who are not under her control, but like people who are her responsibility don't see it. It shines there all of the time, and that's why.
Rosa definitely like encouraged Hashaan and Balasar to get together.
Oh, 100%.
I feel like
Hashaan probably would have been like, well, I've met this man and he's very nice, but we've got very different lives, and he's
a bit older than me.
He's a bit older than me, and also like we've got very busy careers, and we're doing our own thing, but different faiths, and fucking Rosa just slams her hands down on the table, like, marry him.
Or like, I don't know, they're like interacting with each other in like a meeting or something, and they like They're getting on very well. There's like a little bit of flirting happening. And Rose is the person who points it out. And then Hashaan's like, for fuck's sake. Like, if she could blush, she would. Angry sounding.
The barriers coming down at the train station? Is that just me?
I can't hear him right now because I got...
Alright, you're surrounded by fans.
Yeah.
Just very occasionally when the wind is in the right direction and it's
yeah,
like kind
from
of
my
quiet
room,
around here.
I can hear the train track.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's super ambient when it's like the other night when it's raining really hard. So you got the really thick, heavy rain noise, and then in the background you can hear the chug chug of the train departing.
Yeah.
Really good.
Ambience.
I love the dynamic of two powerful women just being friends. That has a really good vibe. Hell yeah, that's the goal. I didn't join this stream immediately. Have we discussed what Rose's partner looks like? We haven't. Saxum is a human male.
Male.
The males are at it again. Human female. He's from Knothole. He's super pale. He's icy blonde. Like
Paul Bettany.
Yeah, but Paul Bettany from Da Vinci Code, minus the like self-flagellation and the creepy
death stare.
Yeah. Super icy blonde, blue eyes. The kind of blonde where you're not even really sure if he's got any eyelashes.
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty into edgy Bettany. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, I mean Paul Bettany's gorgeous.
Yeah.
But that character is a murderer.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't really know what happens in Da Vinci Code.
Okay, I mean,
I probably have seen
it. He
it.
beats a nun to death.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
don't
bad.
do that, guys. That's a bit naughty.
It's
a bit
he
naughty.
is a ranger, but not the bow kind and not the animal kind. And I think that's all I can really say about him.
Yeah. We'll get there eventually.
Very quiet, very patient.
Hashaan doesn't like him. He creeps her out.
Which is hilarious considering all of the shit that Hashaan has put up with. Rosa is the mayor. Does that mean that she's ordained? Can she run after Hashaan and her partner in the rings and hands?
Are mayors ordained?
I don't know. I didn't know that was a thing. I mean,
didn't know
it makes
that was a
sense,
thing.
but I don't think she is. Because she's not of...
Hashaan is technically ordained.
Yeah, like I think you still have to see... I mean, I don't think...
I mean,
like,
Hashaan can't marry herself, but...
Like, what's the civil marriage? No, civil partnership. I don't think that's a thing in Kadar. Not because, like, they don't want it, but because, the churches will marry anyone for a couple of bucks.
Yeah, we've
as long
kind
as
of like...
you're of an age and it's not to a dog or something.
Yeah, we've kind of like scrapped the whole like discrimination shit because we got enough of that in real life. We don't need it in our game. It's not needed. It's not necessary.
Yeah, it's not. And the other reason I don't think that the Qadari government does like marriages and stuff is that for me that feels like quite a lot for my brain to handle on top of all of the other civil services.
Just realised I got a fucking coloured Mikkel's outfit and I don't know what they look like. There's a lot of brain power.
Mate. Human female. Yes, that's the old Ferengi. Holy crap, was that him? I only watched the Da Vinci Code once. Yeah, it was him.
My brain was like...
Paul Bettany's gorgeous.
Yeah, my brain was like, Paul Bettany's well fit.
Yeah, he is.
He is.
He's well fit, isn't it, mate? Like, especially when he's being like human-looking Vision in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and being like gently wise, right?
Gorgeous.
What is grief but love persisting? Oh.
Gorgeous man.
Yeah.
He's absolutely ginormous, though.
He is absolutely huge. He's like 6.5 foot.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
You don't realise how tall some people are until they stand next to an average person. You're like, Jesus.
Oh, it's like how ship captains can marry people. Oh.
Yeah, they can, apparently.
Yeah, I
Weird.
never really thought about that. Speaking of ships, have you seen, this is just a side, that the Ever Given has finally left the Suez Canal?
Oh, that happened ages ago, hasn't it?
Well, they freed it. So that
but it hasn't actually gone anywhere
But
yet.
they've been holding it there because they want the parent company to pay for damages. Because they had to dig it out of the canal.
Yeah, rightfully so.
Yeah. Whilst I don't know how much the final settlement was, it's anywhere between $515 million and $916 million.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Look like hiccups.
Boo looks so offended.
When does she not?
Oh yeah, Jenny, remember that one Skyrim stream when we convinced you to try Genshin on stream? Is that gonna happen? Yeah. At some point. I said I'd do it, so I will. It's either going to happen when we hit a milestone subscribers, or it'll happen suddenly because everybody else is busy and I have to stream on my own. When I think Paul Bettany, I either go to Marvel or Knight's Tale. Knight's Tale!
Oh my god!
Paul Bettany's Chaucer is a classic.
So good.
Classic character.
He's very naked in that film.
So naked in that film. Man, there are so many good actors in that movie. And it's such a trashy movie too. I love it.
It's a good movie.
So good.
Fucking Robert Baratheon's in there as well.
Bread. Jenny plays Genshin at 50k. Fucking hell. If you can find 20,000 people, I will play whatever you want. If we can get to 50k before the end of the year, I'll play whatever you want for however long. I'll do 24 hours of Genshin. I won't, I'll die. But, you know.
What is it? What's that?
It's a mobile game, I think. Well, okay, so the way it's always been sold to me is that it's a mobile game, like you play it on your iPad.
Right.
But I have also been told by the chat, Alex, do you want to come into Discord, by the way? If you want to chat with your human voice as opposed to your digital words, then let us know. You can ping us. I've been told by Jazzy TP and others that you can also get Genshin on any platform now.
I see.
I believe it's Chinese. Just from it has the vibe of a Chinese drama.
I see.
I think you pick a character, and then it's like an RPG.
Right.
I don't really know. He was going to ask if there was space in the call. Amy,
hang on.
Fire up the Discord.
Give me my bed. I should put my glasses on while I do this. Discord, don't open.
Bread.
I thought Discord was going to like open on stream. I was like, see who I'm friends with. I mean, it wouldn't have mattered.
I can tell you, well, I don't know if you're friends with them, but like Jess Jackdaw, Dingo Doodles. These are our big fashionable friends.
Not
Our
like specifically friends with them in Discord, but we hang out with them in a server.
Yeah.
A real good bunch of eggs.
So good.
I love them.
So good. I love them so much. I actually tweeted at Ink something that he said in that Discord server today. He posted a picture he did of Ditta as a Sailor Moon, kind of like a sailor girl. And I tweeted at him a caption. He was like, had to be done. So I tweeted at him something he said about like I didn't want to draw Shane twerking. A man had a gun to my head or something. I was being held at gunpoint.
I'm just doing some settings quickly. Should work.
Genshin is a game where you can choose between the male or female twins. In the game, you can gain characters through plot. Like, you can get to 8 or so, I think, and through events. Wow, I had no idea what Genshin was.
Right. Let me just message the bread.
It feels like whoever developed Genshin had a lot of money to advertise it. There was a period in my life where I would get a 25-minute Genshin advert before every YouTube video.
Hello?
Hello?
It's bread.
Whoa, so I had to mute the stream because I realised I had the stream audio playing because I'm watching it, and then also Discord was making sounds, and I was like, huh.
Okay.
Right,
Bow, bow, bow,
everybody.
bow, 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 bow. Introducing the finest baguette in the south of England. It's only our favourite Panera. It's bread.
Hello.
Hi.
Tell us how he sounds. I probably need to adjust some volume for the boy.
Yeah, am I toasted right now, or
You don't. You're not toastering. I think he. How does he sound in comparison to us? Can you hear him?
Hello, I am making sounds now. Hello, hello. I never know what to say for sound tests.
I was reminded of the fucking bread boy that you drew in last week's midweek, Amy,
Oh,
with
yeah.
the very long baguette face. You sound good. No,
Lovely.
he fine. That's
Nice.
lovely.
Good, good, good.
How's everybody doing?
Ignis has just said the most true thing, okay? Genshin feels similar to K-pop culture to me. I enjoy the visuals, brackets, and the audio, but I keep within sprinting distance of the exit.
As you probably should, to be
That's
fair.
how
I
it
think
be.
it's a bottomless pit from what I've heard.
My that's my anime approach these days, is to always have one foot out of the door. Ooh, how's your day been, Bread?
Pretty good. I don't know if you've mentioned it to chat already, but we had a meeting earlier for some whiz biz, and my whole brain melted the second we hung up. I was like, oh god, I've used up all of my think juice for the day.
There was a point where Jenny was saying a lot of information, like,
Yes,
and then
about Patreon.
me
There
and
was so many
Alex were
numbers
just like,
happening, and I was
please
like, I can't
repeat.
count.
We were like, please repeat, but simplify.
That's like that is such a, like, it's so peak fucking this job, right? Because I needed to tell you all of it, and there was no better way. There was literally
really
no
wasn't.
better way of telling you it. And in the end, I was like saying it in maybe 3 different variants to try and just not. Both I was confusing myself and you. Yeah.
And the way it scanned, like, listening to it, like, not being in your brain as the words came out, JB, it was like each new variant of the one thing you were trying to explain. It was like, you know that John Mulaney bit where they're like, wow, What's New Pussycat is a really long song, and he's just playing it 4 times over. It was the exact same energy.
Okay, so I've got a jug of water, and I need to split that jug of water into maybe 2 or 3 mugs. But I don't know whether to do 2 mugs or 3 mugs, and I don't know whether to hand the mugs over all at once or spread them out individually, or do I do 2 mugs in the evening and 1 mug in the morning? And
Jenny,
do
I am
put
begging
the
you for
same
mercy because I can
amount of
feel my brain
liquid in
slipping
every
again.
single mug, or do
I
I put
have passed away.
2 amounts
Passed away.
more liquid
We
in,
have
in 2
passed
mugs
away.
than 1?
Me and Alex have ascended. Look out, God, we're taking your seat.
Ugh.
Oh man.
Passed away. We have passed
I'm glad that
away.
we're in a very similar circle of TikTok, so you guys like get that
My
very
the
specific reference.
thing that's been stuck in my head recently, Alex, that was so in my head that whenever I woke up last night, I was already singing it to myself in my brain. Was it was late at night at Burger King, worshipping the devil at Burger
What?
King.
Why does that sound
flame
familiar?
grilled
Like, that
for
sounds like a song I've heard
eternity.
in a dream, or perhaps a
Worshipping
nightmare.
the devil at Burger King. Yeah.
Can confirm living with Jenny is interesting, to say the least.
Yeah, that's the word. That's the word. I love these characters, by the way, dude. These are looking great.
Oh, thanks, Brett.
Oh, yeah, I haven't actually asked a single thing about what you're doing. I can't see it. I've just been talking about myself for an hour.
Why are you doing this? What is going on? Why are you being like this?
Are you talking to Boo or?
I'm talking to Clip Studio. What? You are a paint. I have a paint. I've selected my paintbrush tool, but it's erasing stuff.
Do you have the transparency on?
What does that mean? What do you mean, Alex?
Professional.
Sometimes there's like a little checkerboard box, and if you have that highlighted, then it means it erases rather than paints.
Nani?
What?
Nani?
Nani desu ka?
Alex, help me.
Amy.
Help me.
This feels very similar to the time. I don't know if we've spoken to our audience about this before, but I remember you and I, Amy, once hopped on a 20-minute long Discord call because we couldn't figure out why the colors weren't working on a layer in a Photoshop file for the animation, and the layer was called like whatever 70%, and we were like, oh, what's the setting? What's the
Why is
all
it
these
doing
filters
this?
turned on? What's happening?
Yeah.
It turns out the opacity was just set to 70%, and we didn't realize.
Yeah, the whole group was on 70% and not the layer.
The entire it was not our smartest moment, but perhaps one of
okay.
our
That's kind of-
most fun.
Lads, I'm just gonna put the full overlay up for a second while I just restart Clip Studio because I'm being dumb and I can't figure it out. And usually just restarting the program works. So
It reminds me of the times that you call a layer 7, and then maybe an hour and a half later there are like 25 layers called layer 7. And then
Only the most organized layer management in
there's
the.
like 15 frames in a scene that are only layer 7. Or the other day when you named a group of layers, good luck, bro. Before you pass it over to
I
Beth.
fixed it.
Nice.
We're back.
Literally, I remember Beth sending that screenshot to the chat of just the layer folder with the name "Good Luck, Bro" and being like, "Ah, wonderful."
It's that time again.
Beth was like, thanks a lot.
So Amy, you have to tell the chat about your
OCs.
characters. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. I just drew them.
Do they just look
used
pretty,
referenced
make
them by
brain
name
feel good?
earlier.
Well, they have their names, so this... Let me put an extra layer so I don't ruin nothing. This...
Ooh, yeah, what's her name?
That's Mikkel. He, they. Was they, them, but I've decided is he, they. He, they.
Uh-huh.
Nice.
Terrible pen setting to be doing ink. And this... Hang on. This is Tammy.
Tammy, that's a nice name.
Her. And these two are together.
Nice.
Ta-da!
Aww,
That's as
a
far as I
lovely
got.
couple.
That's as far as I got.
I like them.
Yay.
They're real good. I
But
like
yeah.
the mask as well. That's super fun.
Thanks. It's like the aesthetic is kind of like from my favourite, the one and only Doro Hedoro.
Of course.
The
of
shit that
course.
I never
Yeah.
shut up about.
Amy's only anime.
Yes, quite literally. It's like the aesthetic is like heavily influenced by that, and I was like, I need to make my own characters. First started off as Mikkel, then I was like, I want Mikkel to have a partner, so I made Tammy.
Mikkel is such a
Partner
good name.
in crime.
Yeah, no, they're just, you know,
20s, 30s?
what
How old
age?
are they here?
I don't know.
Okay.
What's the average age for people?
For people.
It varies.
How old is a person? Well,
You can tell I get like kind of like flustered when I have to talk about my own thing. I'm like,
oh my god, that is the biggest mood, honestly. I remember back when I was a kid, my aunt would be like, "Oh, tell me about the like stories you were making for comics and things like that," and immediately I would just like blue screen and be like, "Hubba, hubba, hubba."
Well, you
I
don't want to
don't
know it's
anything
dumb.
about it.
I'll tell you. You'll think it's weird.
I will tell you the secrets.
Excuse me.
No.
Nice. 10 out of 10.
But yeah, these are my OCs. I like drawing people in weird outfits. It's very like.
Dude, I was thinking while I was looking at the coloring for these aren't like weird. These are just fucking cool outfits. Catch the drip on these dudes. This is great.
It's like quite tank girl-esque, where it's like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I really like the coat.
Yeah. I'm happy I like managed to get the coat.
Yeah.
On my Instagram.
Super long. Lots of room for swish.
Yes. On my Instagram you can see like various outfits for Tammy if you wanted to have a look.
bin_witch_illustration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one.
There's two people. There's two kinds of people. Okay. There's Jazzy TP. What ages people like. And then there is Ignis. Haha, I think the median age for people would be somewhere between 35 and 45. Do Bruno Mars is gay? Off-topic question, but where in the story did Alex actually start playing, and how much was backstory lead up?
Oh my god, when did Alex start playing with us? What were we doing? Where were we? Oh my god, it's completely gone from my brain.
I mean, you know,
It was in Rundar. It was
in
at the point of the.
Oh yeah,
like Paddy's
of course.
entrance to our game is, and the show is
exactly how it's shown.
1-to-1. That's
Yeah.
exactly how it worked.
Yeah.
Except I seem to remember that. So I had actually written out the message, like a little one, to give to Alex to hand off to Matthew or whoever. And Matt tends to do this thing where he will receive the physical item and then he will look at it and he will read it and then he'll put it away. And then sort of 20 minutes later, after like Amy has grabbed Alex and been shaking him and being like, I love you, I love that you're in D&D, I'm so happy you're here. Like, what did the note say? And then Matt's like, ugh, and he has to like scramble to find a piece of paper and where he put it.
As a player, I'm someone who really doesn't like secrets. I don't like secrets amongst the party, and Matt loves secrets. I'm calling myself out here.
He does love secrets, but also he makes secrets by accident a lot.
Yeah. And then I'll just be like glaring at him and like, what does the thing say, Matthew? But then like sometimes he'll know that I like it really annoys me. He'll like, I don't know what it says, and I'm like, you know what it says.
Like if you two could like physically fight each other without doing any damage, you would. Like just
100%
because
they
that's
would.
the energy, right? Like Matt will forget that he's not read the thing aloud and put it away, and then you will be like, what did it say? And then he'll get all coy and be like, I don't know.
I'll be like, you do know!
And then he'll very slowly page through his folder, like pinching the pages between his thumb and his forefinger, very slowly folding over the notebook, and he'll like, I can't find it. And then you'll go over there and flip the table and be like, Matthew!
Man. If you ever want to know what Gimgar is like as a character, it's just me.
Yeah.
It just looks a little bit different. Yeah, that is true. Secrets are fun if you know them, but not if you don't.
Kimberly said, so all the letters in his conversation wasn't in-game. Everything that happens to Paddy up until he gets into the inn is not stuff that happened in the game. That's stuff that we wrote as backstory.
Yeah, pre-game.
Also, like the sort of general conversation and like any paperwork or anything you see in this period that is in the show is stuff that I have sort of aggregated based on our notes because nobody fucking remembers.
It's been a while. But I think it is everything that's animated in chapter 1 is basically the visual representation of the stuff that you kind of explained to me before I sort of sat down and played my first game with everybody, JB.
Yeah.
You were like, okay, cool. You've made your character. Here's why you're in this place, and here's the thing you need to do. And then, like, yeah, chapter 1 is kind of like the telling of that.
The telling of tales.
Yeah.
The telling of tales.
Let's see.
Storyteller, I have need of your strongest stories.
Conversation with Rosa. I don't know what that is. Back to... I mean, the conversation with Rosa was basically just Alex talking to me about... I mean, that conversation did happen, but it was like, you know, here's what you could be doing. What would you like? What feels like, Paddy? What, you know, what reasons do we have to put you here? And then as we sort of narrowed it down, then it became like, okay, this is Rosa Serrano, she's the mayor of the city, and this is what she says to you.
Yeah. And I still remember being in that very first session and being like, cool, I have to deliver a letter. And then, like, obviously this is like mid-campaign, so like everybody started talking about like other things that had happened, and I was like, yes, I totally know what you mean. And I had no idea.
Oh, I seem to remember that, I don't know where we were, but I feel like we were in somebody's living room floor again. And you were like literally clutching your character sheet in front of you, like you were about to sing from it.
Yeah, I think I was sat on the couch in it would have been Amy's old student house, like Amy and Jazz's old place.
Right.
Was that I feel like the first time. I don't know.
We
if
were
it's just
in uni
the majority,
the first
but
time.
it feels like it. Yeah, but
Was it the first time was I in uni?
Because my most prevalent memory of playing what feels like Alex's first session was actually on the floor of Liam and Katie's student house.
Oh.
I can't really remember.
I mean, I'm not the one to go to for any kind of long-term recollection
Lord
of
knows.
anything, so
Tell
I
us
don't
what
know.
you know.
Let's see. Newt Man had to go.
Oh, bye, Newt.
If I don't return,
Bye.
please someone take care of my radish.
Yes.
Radish.
We'll do our best.
Sure.
Do.
Radish dies.
Hetty Naddin's serious solemn cleric is allergic to apples. Did you want out of the room
Rip.
with these? No? I closed the living room door to eliminate noise transference, and Boo's in here with us. Do you want out of the room? Do you want me to open the door? She's rushing.
Let me out, please.
Now she's gonna go sit in the hallway and whine because she can't see anybody and she thinks she's on her own. I don't know if it's a great or terrible idea, says Kimberly, for Amy to get a foam sword to beat people with. No damage, but venting violence. Terrible idea.
I think damage could easily be dealt with in the wrong hands.
I'm remembering sitting on
Is this the dice bag
the
incident?
floor of Katie and Liam's student house.
Now this I remember.
And I finished sliding a piece of paper into my DM folder, and I close the folder and I look up just in time to watch a bag of dice sail past my eyes and fucking smack Katie straight in the face.
I still remember the sound of that more than anything.
That bit in the Vine video as Zada gets
I was just
clonked
about to say.
by the fucking whatever, that's legit. That actually happened.
Look,
That is
in
like the
real
most
life.
accurate possible reenactment of that moment in time that I think will ever
I can
manage.
justify my actions. I can't. I shouldn't have done it. Don't throw dice bags at your friends.
I feel like
It was
the
so
foam sword
fucking
was
funny,
like-
but we were all like, "Oh my god!"
Like, Katie was asleep on the sofa directly opposite me and Alex. I grabbed Alex's dice bag and I tried to hit Katie in the boobs, and it didn't work, and it landed square on her forehead. And it was very...
No, I don't think it was, as far as my recollection being directly opposite Katie in that moment goes, it was square between the eyes.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
But like, as I saw the
Hit him
bag
right between
descend towards Katie's face, I was like slow motion. Oh no!
It really did
It
feel
just
like
went
it was
smack.
in slow-mo.
I was laughing so hard, but I felt so bad, and I was like crawling over to Katie, laughing while simultaneously not trying to piss all over the floor.
I forgot the aftermath. Yeah, you did.
Katie was like, "Ow!"
Yeah, you're both like, you're crawling towards
And
her
you're
both
like
because
bapping her on the knee, like, no.
you can't stand because you're laughing too hard, but also you're groveling. So the foam sword feels like a bad idea because I'm in my mind watching Amy yeet it. Like,
Yeah, I was gonna say it would become a foam
over
javelin
arm like a
in
javelin,
no time
and
flat.
it landing directly in Matt Kemp's eye.
It would happen.
That's the real story of how Rook got his scar. It's just a very similar situation.
I'm dying. This hasn't actually happened, but I am dying.
Yeah, because you can picture his reaction, right?
I really
Even if it wouldn't have been that bad of an impact, you just know that like Matt would take the initial hit of foam sword to the eyeball, and then immediately like there would be a delay, and then he would do a secondary impact.
And also, even if he's like, if he's completely fine and he's like been very minorly bonked on the head or something, he'll like collapse to the floor and be like, "You've murdered me."
Yeah, exactly.
You chopped my bloody head off.
Oh god, this is like. So Katie has been at the wrath of me, unfortunately, a couple of times. So there's a thing that we like to refer to as the Oreo incident.
Oh, fucking hell. I don't know if you need to tell this story.
Alex, I don't think you were there when this happened.
I feel like I've heard this term before, though. I don't think I was there, but I feel like I've heard this.
He was in class where he should have been.
Yeah, he was in the actual classroom as where our course, mine and Alex's course, was taking place. I was hanging out with my friends because I can't commit to anything. Anyway.
You can commit to hanging out with your friends, though, and hitting them in the face.
And basically, so we have a friend from uni called Ricky. Ricky's great, 10 out of 10. But me and Ricky have this relationship where we will fight each other over, like, to the death over something very not worth it. Jazz holds her hand up at the other end of the room and screams, "I have one Oreo left. Who wants it?"
I feel like I should interject at this point and say it was like one of strawberry milkshake Oreo or
yeah,
something,
it's a
right?
strawberry Oreo.
It was
The
a special edition, that's
flavoured
important.
Oreos are super rare in this country.
Yes.
They're very expensive.
Anything other than bland in this country is a luxury. Because we don't know what spice or flavour is. Anyway, I put my hand up and I said, "Oh, me, I'll have it." And I stand up very gracefully and I walk towards Jazz. And then all of a sudden behind me, to the right of me from behind, I hear clattering and fast footsteps. So instead of just
That's so terrifying.
And instead of just turning around and facing it, I just ran. I ran towards the Oreo because I knew who it was and I knew what was going to happen. So I ran towards the Oreo. I grabbed the Oreo. And then all of a sudden, there's a 6'4" man on my back. And I am fucking wrestling.
So the tallest people in the room, who are both 6 foot and over, are attacking each other.
I did not initiate this violence.
Limbs akimbo in a space that, frankly, should not be containing this kind of movement.
And
Was this in the paint frame or something?
no,
this is in our studio in the second year. So
Oh.
the desks haven't been made into singular units yet, so there are huge dividers between individual desks.
Ooh.
So like the desk height is actually probably 5.5 foot.
Yeah.
And it's plywood.
Anyway, Katie is like behind us. She's sitting on a chair and she's just about to put her Oreo into her mouth. And as she's doing a man is thrown on top of her because I just pretty much bench press Ricky and throw him across the room because, you know, Amy lives matter. And I was like, I will not lose. And I throw Ricky without thinking. He lands on Katie. Katie falls backwards onto the floor in her wheelie chair.
The concrete floor.
She's still sitting in her chair perfectly. She's just laying down this time. Instead of sitting up, she's laying down. And Ricky's like over her like this. And Katie's arm is still in the place where it was to go eat the Oreo. But the Oreo was gone. And there was like a bit of remnants left between her thumb and forefinger. And I'm like, I won! Because I still have my Oreo. Ricky's dead on the floor on top of Katie. And she's like traumatized.
So to tally, there's 2 dead people. There's an Oreo that's been just
decimated.
There's 2 dead people, 1 dead Oreo.
And Amy has 1 singular Oreo aloft. Yeah.
And at that moment,
at that precise moment, me, Matthew, and Beth step into the room. And, like, from having a relatively calm conversation in the hallway, coming back from the canteen or whatever, step into the room and I'm just like, what the fuck?
Why is Katie on the floor?
I have been gone 10 minutes.
God. It was quite funny.
Over an Oreo. Yes.
I initiated nothing. I was just going to eat my snack. And I was attacked.
Alright.
So.
Oh my god, that sparks so much joy.
There we go.
Poor fucking Katie, but Jesus Christ,
She's
that story in hindsight
fine.
is
Amy, why do you insist on hurting Katie
well,
in these
Katie's
ways?
just always in the way.
Oh, wow.
She's just there.
Oh my goodness.
This is like, so when we play Red Dead Redemption 2 online together, we have a posse called the Bristol Pushers. Which is in reference to this fake serial killer in Bristol. Who Kimberly sends us $25. Thank you.
Oh,
I
thank
beg
you,
you,
Kimberly.
Can someone please illustrate the Oreo incident?
Oh, Ricky.
So the Bristol Pusher is like, sometimes people in Bristol will get drunk and then they'll fall in the River River Severn, which puts out into the sea. And the River Severn's like it's got a really strong current. So if you're drunk or if you hit your head or something on the way down or whatever, it will take you out to sea and you'll drown, basically. Or if you're lucky, it'll just strip the clothes off you and you'll have hypothermia when you get out. Dangerous river.
Oh dear.
And like occasionally people will fall in and die. But there was like this joke going around in Bristol that there was somebody who was purposefully pushing people into the river to kill them, and this person was titled the Bristol Pusher. The Bristol Pusher doesn't exist, but it is quite funny to think that it is YouTuber Lewis Brindley. So we have named our Red Dead Redemption 2 posse the Bristol Pushers.
Because we're that funny.
And for a little while, our horses were all called like
Lewis Brindley,
Bristol Pusher.
Oh yeah, Bristol and Pusher.
So there were 4 of us. One was called Lewis, one was called Brindley, one was called Bristol, and the last one was called Pusher. Because, you know.
You're a good boy, Pusher. As Phil would say.
And we would go about, and the thing to know about this is that me, Matt, and Phil are not good at Red Dead Redemption, and we haven't played very much of it. Katie and Amy have played
Too much.
way too much Red Dead Redemption 2 online. So it would be like we'd be riding somewhere to go do something, and Katie and Amy are slightly ahead of us, and there would be like, because they've got better horses because they've been playing for longer, there'd be like a huge explosion or like the sounds of violence, and then we would ride past like a pile of corpses and be like, guys, what did you do? And just observants, Katie and or Amy would be like, they were annoying.
God.
But you and Katie kill each other on Red Dead so often.
God. So the last time I played,
It's like watching, like, if I'm like the baby in this situation, right, when it's just me and you two online, it's like watching my elderly lesbian aunts like kill each other.
God. So there's one of the last incidents we had on Red Dead Online. Katie was summoning her. It was like one of her wagons, the one that you store all the animal skins on and carcasses and that.
Yeah.
And she had like this full wagon of like perfect pelts. But I was really bored, so I just like yeet a stick of dynamite in a direction, and then there's an explosion, and then over Xbox Live I just hear no. And I walk over, and then on fire is just this cart.
It's always you two as well.
It's always us. Sorry, Katie. Meow.
I stood up to get a snack and to see if I could entice the lady into the living room, but alas, she would rather lounge in the hallway.
Alas. Alex,
Hello.
what colour should I make Mikkel's shoes?
Ooh. They're quite. Maybe. Maybe like green to match the coat. Maybe. Carry the color through the fit.
Hell yeah. I don't know what I said just then. I just made a noise.
I didn't even hear words. I just heard like a gently deflating balloon.
Oh, I've already eaten dinner, so I don't even get to eat anything after the stream. Ugh. I don't even have any snacks. Sucks.
I have not eaten dinner, but I do have leftover pizza in the fridge.
What kind of pizza?
The kind that's made with bread and cheese and tomato sauce.
Yum, yum.
There's some stuff on it.
I got the packet. You want to come here? Oh, yeah, she does. Ooh, look at this. Here she comes.
Yeah.
Oh, here she comes.
Hiya. You want to come say hello?
Watch out, boys. She'll beep you up.
How much cable do I have? Can I take the microphone to her? Oh yeah, I got tons of cable. Okay. We're gonna have a go at interviewing Boo. Okay, madam.
Unfortunately,
How
I
are
did
you
not
doing
get any
today?
closer, so I cannot hear.
Would you like to talk to the people about your problems? That was her rubbing her face on the microphone. Boo, this probably sounds terrible to the people listening because you're not. Oh, not supposed to hold this microphone. You're supposed to just leave it in the mount. Darling, come here. Darling?
Madam!
Madam? One moment. Got to crinkle the packet again. Diddy. Oh, here she comes. I'm afraid you can't actually eat what's in this packet because it's Oreos in chocolate.
Katie gets a flashback.
Tell us how you're doing. Yeah, what if I... No? Okay. Oh. Come here.
Just doing some cat ASMR.
Yeah, she's not really in a talkative mood today. Usually she's very happy to scream. It's because she knows what a microphone is. And she knows not to talk to the press. She's been taught very well.
So, Bread,
Yeah.
what you up to? What you doing?
Okay.
Besides hanging out with
At
us.
this present moment,
Yes?
yeah, I'm doing some drawing as well.
What you
Having a
doing?
nice bit of doodling time.
Am I allowed to ask what you're doing? Or is it secret?
I'm contractually, I cannot tell you. It's currently unreleased. I can tell you off stream, Amy.
Okay.
But it's a fun time. It's doing some
Nice,
sketching,
nice.
but I've got a deadline soonish for it, so I was like, oh, I'll use the afternoon. I'll get some sketching done. But now I get to do
Nice.
it on call with y'all, and it's a much nicer experience.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
I love doing that. Yeah, that's Jenna Marbles. Where's my cat?
Where is your cat?
BRB.
She's eating something. Oh, okay.
But I don't care.
Oh, I see.
But then...
Here we go. Here we go. She burped or you burped?
She burped.
You squeezed a burp out of her.
I picked her up and she was like, "Ball."
Oh. Here we go again.
Oh, you really do smell.
Yeah, she's just had some dinner. So she smells like a cat food.
Tell everyone what
I can hear her
Ooh.
now.
Tell everyone what's going on. Stinky breath. Say something else. You're purring?
And she's such a baby.
She is. She's doing tiny beeps.
Tiny beeps.
Tiny beeps.
Those of you who are talking about adopting cats, you should definitely try and get one like Boo because, you know, all she does is sleep.
Yeah.
Sleep and scream.
She makes a lot of noise, but she's actually very chill for a cat.
Yeah.
Extremely chill.
Very chill. Unless it's the night time and she's not allowed in Amy's room and she wants onto the sofa because she's lonely. In which case she's not chill. She's very loud.
Okay, right. Let's give Tammy some colour. I'll do the mask later. Tammy's kind of been neglected for a sec.
She's returned to the hallway
To consume.
to sit with her back to us. As she does.
With. As she do.
As she do.
What colour are Tammy's eyes? Are they yellow as well? I did not know that. I mean, I did know that. I just forgot.
Man,
That is not the colour.
I am so excited for Friday.
So am I.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Big day.
What?
What?
We were talking about high hopes earlier, before Alex got here. So if anybody has any more questions about high hopes, the rolls,
Yeah, I love
then-
talking about our D&D game. Ask us questions.
Yeah. Woo.
Considering that's the main thing we produce. Ask us some questions.
Give
Alex,
us some Q's and we'll give you some A's. Yes, Medea?
I have a question.
I may have an answer.
What is one of your favourite moments that you can remember from our game? That's not
You said what is one, and I fully thought you were just going to give me like a maths thing. What is one of my favorite moments I can remember from the campaign?
Yeah.
Ah, man. See, now you've asked me what thing can you remember, and my whole memory system has shut down.
Yeah, that
Uh,
happens.
Ooh. I'll ponder on that. I'm pretty sure there have been some freaking like kick-ass moments in some of the combat and stuff that have just been like so clutch. Like, and those are always so fun to like see play out in game.
Well, one of my favorite things that you do is when you draw dicks on Nagar's face.
Oh yeah, no, that's also a big fave. Yeah, definitely the it's the small moments, you know? It's the little moments where you have a bit of ink in your inventory and a bit of free time. Like
Yeah. Has anyone asked any questions, Jenny?
Oh, sorry, close the chat for a second.
Jenny.
Ooh, Everlasting Ray asking which tarot card is Gimgar gonna be. You'll see on Friday. It's
You'll
in
find
the
out.
we've got it in the
It's very pretty.
yeah.
Yeah, it's really good. It really suits. Why did I allow the flying rogue? I don't know, to be honest. Feels like it was a good idea at the time. I don't really regret it.
Technically,
She
both of the
says
rogues
for gritted
can, you
teeth.
gave one of them a flying cape and one of them just a fly.
Fucking love that thing.
I don't know. Phil doesn't like. So like, I guess when people think of flying rogue and like, oh my god, what a nightmare, they think of Vaxel Dawn, right?
But that's because like Vax is a nightmare because not just because he can fly, but also because he has 17 speed things.
Yeah, but because he also he has the boot of haste, right? So he has action,
What?
and then 120 feet of movement.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's insanely dangerous. He can do
It's
like
nuts.
150 points of damage in a single round.
What?
Yeah.
And then move 120 feet.
Yeah. Disengage and move back 120 feet.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How did Matt
It's
allow
so
this?
broken. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
exactly.
I suppose that's what happens when you play your first campaign, right? With
Yeah.
your first characters. It does just go a little bit crazy like that.
Fuck yeah.
But Phil doesn't have any of that.
No, he's not. I mean,
He's not a magic.
He also only really brings the wings out when either for like story appropriate moments or when he really needs them. Like he clearly is saving them in case he's on the verge of death, right?
Yeah.
Or on the verge of a cliff. Like,
Yeah. 6 and 2 3s. Will there be a premiere party like chapter 2? Yes, there will. We're going to go live half an hour beforehand at 7, I think. And then the episode goes live at 7:30. This is BST UTC plus 1.
UK time.
Yeah. And hopefully the premiere will pull us all in. But if it doesn't, it's premiering anyway, so we'll be there with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be
we'll
trying to
watch it
figure
together.
out some settings for the stream tomorrow to try and make sure that it does the things we want it to. But if it doesn't do it on the automatic thing, if it's hard to figure out, then we'll just be like, all right, we're done now. Go watch the episode, and then
Yeah.
we'll just end the stream, and then the episode will be there. You guys can check it out.
We'll just scream that the episode's up and then you can go watch it.
Yeah, it's been very surreal though, doing the last bits and pieces of the like the editing work and like making sure everything's ready to go on Friday this week. It's
Yeah.
It's always so weird, these like final kind of days before an episode goes up.
I really love this time though. Like it feels like there's a lot to do, but it feels like everybody has something to do, and everybody's working their hardest towards the same goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. So
Hype.
like obviously the whole process is collaborative, but it's almost like everybody feels like we're all syncing up, like in this last week. All pushing the same boulder.
Ignis says Phil spins the wheel of random D&D items and gets fly. Alex spins the same wheel and gets fly, but on the opposite side of the wheel.
Is that how you go about distributing our magic items, JB?
Honestly, a lot of times, unless it's something I specifically need you to have, like because a villain has dropped it or something, it's like a mad panic with the book in front of me whilst you're looting. I always forget to pre-plan loot.
It's worked out pretty well so far, though.
So, like, I'm not going to say what fight this was that we found these items, but, like, do you remember when Matt found Ice Brand, the Ice Brand axe.
Mhm.
That was like very early on.
Mhm.
And he was like gonna keep it for himself.
A wizard.
I was like, hey Matt, I kind of need a fancy weapon. Can I have it? And he was like, I don't want to give it to you. I was like, but you can't use it. And
You
so I had
literally
to
cannot
like
wield it.
encourage him to give it to me. And then later on we found Holy Avenger, same conversation. And it's like, Holy Avenger is a sword specifically for paladins, and the wizard was like, mine.
Yeah.
So
Bless him. He's so soft. He's just like, he's like, okay, I'll do the looting. And then he writes everything down in his inventory. And he's like, cool, I have all these things. And then he looks up at the rest of the table like, oh. Right. I love him.
He's a good boy.
What are some of your favourite moments where a character behaves different than normal? Like, has Bright Happy Torlin ever been super angry? Has Gimgar ever been a super softie? Stuff like that.
Ooh.
Gingar's only really super soft when she's around Torlin, I think.
I was thinking that.
Yeah, because she's just a sucker for her. She's like... That really threw me off.
Sorry. I just turned on a lamp.
Yeah. Gimgar really likes Torlin, so she's kind of like a bit of a softie around her, I guess.
There's this really good moment that at the end of probably the beginning of the next season, which I would say is out of character for Gimgar, but in the opposite direction, right? I can't wait to get to that. That's gonna be so much fun.
I completely forgot that Ollie was still home. And I was like, Jenny, there is another person in the house.
Yes. He's been quietly working next door.
I was like, Ollie's never home at this time of night.
No, he's not actually. That is technically true.
You're
Friggin',
usually out being an adult. And that sounds a bit scandalous.
Well, he would be at band practice tonight, right? But it's band, not orchestra. Yeah. Except they cancelled it tonight because of the football.
Really important reason.
Which feels very annoying to like rearrange our week. That's why when we do these midweek streams, it's us from on a Wednesday, because Ollie's not here. So it doesn't matter how long we are or what's going on, because it won't impact his evening. So to rearrange everybody's schedules because some people in the band like football is like really annoying, because
So
they're not going to
stupid.
rearrange the schedule for the D&D game, are they?
Yeah.
Not that football doesn't have value or anything, it's just like, ugh.
It's just that D&D has more value.
Spot on.
Freaking, I love Ray in the chat saying, with regards to Rook doing all the looting, Matt's like Liam O'Brien taking the loot for himself in, I assume, campaign 2, because that's a very Caleb thing, but what that made me think of is Rook is kind of also like Liam O'Brien in the previously mentioned Vaxildan sense, in that like he will just pull the most ridiculous magical shit out
Matt
of his
has
pockets to
done
just like do
some-
a crazy wombo combo with.
Yeah, Matt's done some really cool shit. That's
It's
like
the best. It's
no
so cool.
no one else would have possibly thought up.
Yeah.
Real good.
Including
would say
me,
that,
which I
like,
think is
playing characters that do magic is kind of hard, right? Because there is, especially like wizards, because there's so much to choose from in terms of what you can do. Because like not only do you have to choose what spell you're going to cast, you have to think about like how you might be able to use a spell in an unconventional way to change the tide of the situation. Matt has been able to, like, in the midst of everything that's going on around him, not only pay attention to every single player's turn before him, but then step up to the plate on his turn and, like, in some instances, save a character's life with some very fine maths and some, like, really astute knowledge of the way that his magic works,
It's like he literally does the like the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes like right jab, discombobulate like in his mind.
Yeah.
100%.
He's good at it.
Yeah.
It's so cool to see happen in real time at the
that's
table, though. It's
because
like one of my favorite things.
Matt doesn't just play a wizard.
He
He is a wizard.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you have moments where your character would act a certain way and you just know it will hurt the situation, so you don't particularly want to do it, but you have to because your character would?
It depends.
Would you do it even if it was something with big consequences?
Well, I don't think I would.
I don't think
I think
you
there have
would.
been moments like
No.
adjacent to that, but I don't know if like because you know like some people like the common D&D nightmare story is like I did it because my character would, and like they're playing like a
Yeah.
character who's
Like,
just an
there
asshole,
has-
and they're like it's because my character would do it.
Yeah.
It's never anything like that, but
Like-
like
Yeah.
Well,
people's
none of you
characters
are
want to do
assholes,
different things at the
and-
table, and there's like debate about it.
Yeah. Like, none of you are assholes, and also none of you're not playing assholes, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Because like why would you?
yeah.
There's been a couple of times where I've made decisions and you've turned around and said to me like, "Don't forget, Hashaan is lawful good."
Yeah.
Like, and that has sort of like made me aware of who I'm playing, and I've kind of been like, right, okay, I kind of need to stop being so chaotic now.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah,
I think
so
like
that's not so much one that hurts the situation as
Yeah.
much as one where you have to be like, ah, yes, I'm playing like basically a dragon cop right now.
yeah. Sometimes you get carried away with like what you want, right? What you think is
Yeah.
just.
Yeah.
As
100%.
opposed to what Hashaan would, and you just
Yeah.
need gently reminding that that's not the situation or whatever. I don't know. I can't think of anything in particular where somebody's made a choice. Liam makes good choices, I think, in terms of for
Liam makes
Nagar.
really cool story choices,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
they're definitely not the ones that I think the whole party would
No, 100%.
go for.
Yeah.
Liam has surprised us a couple of times.
Yeah.
Ugh, yeah. The
He-
payoff is always so like interesting.
Yeah.
Liam does some really good characters, man.
Yeah, he does.
And they're always
Fuck yeah, he does.
really interesting
I'm just
characters.
thinking of actually speaking specifically of things that we would never fucking expect that Liam does that throw everybody on the player side of the table and Jenny just for a complete loop. His most recent character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His amazing. His
Fucking
character,
amazing
yeah.
recent character.
I'm so excited to share all these things with everybody. They're so
And not
good.
only that, just the shit that character managed to pull off as
Yeah.
well.
Man.
He really said, "Despicable me."
Kind of off topic, but I saw on Tumblr that Paddy is the only one with Constitution as their lowest stat, and does that mean that Paddy gets wasted, or is that from the D&D thing?
Oh, dude,
person?
I build all of my fucking characters with Constitution as their lowest stat. My favorite thing to do is build a character who's just, like, super magical, weak as shit physically.
Glass cannon.
Cannot, like, no poison resistance at all, cannot lift anything heavier than, like, a kilogram.
Yeah. Hashaan's a glass cannon, weirdly enough. Like,
Well, your AC's kind of not
Well, no,
as
her
high
A-
as Gimgar's, right?
no, Hashaan's AC is 21.
Oh, fuck me.
Gimgar's
She's
is,
not got as much health then?
No, she's got similar health. Well, not as much as Gimgar. Well, I think you just attack Hashaan first.
Yeah,
like,
I do.
You
do
do
have
all the
like
heavy
sort of
spells
your ones
first
that you're like,
on
I've got to deal
Hashaan.
with this problem initially.
Yeah, because Hashaan's not. I don't think Hashaan is a glass cannon. I think she is actually genuinely a tank. It's just that
I think she's a glass cannon in the regard that you forget that she can heal.
Yeah. We need a healer! Everyone turns around and looks at me slowly. Whoops.
Also, part of the question was, does having low constitution mean that they get, like, wasted? Or is that just, like, whatever? I cannot remember. Because, like, obviously we go to taverns, like, quite a bit in our
Yeah, I
campaign
think-
on
I
the
think-
off. But I can't remember what our usual way of figuring out if people are just
think
completely
it
gone.
is-
It is
con.
it is a Constitution saving throw, but like I
Okay.
think Paddy's not usually the one who's like when I'm like, are you aiming to drink as much as you can? It's usually Mina.
Yeah.
That's true. And Mina's constitution is through the roof,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's Mina or Torlin. It basically is jazz.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
Yeah.
Mina's a monk, so she is a god.
Yeah. I
It's
think,
like, oh, I use my Superman points and sweat all of the alcohol
Yeah.
I think maybe
all
you've
out.
been,
Like, okay.
Paddy's been drunk maybe once, and I think after that that moment,
I remember
you were
once.
like, wow, I'm super susceptible to alcohol, and then you didn't do it again. Which is like, you know, remarkable character growth.
That's quite responsible.
Yeah. Kimberly says that they want to play a wizard, but they also intimidate me. I've been a bard for a while though. Is that any better? I think if you've played a bard, you can do a wizard.
Yeah, magic still works similar way.
Yeah.
Magic is magic. I think if you've played one magical class, like, it'll take a minute to get used to a different one, just because,
Yeah.
like, the way that you're allowed to use it and the way your slots work is kind of different. But, like,
Also,
fuck yeah, dude.
you
Try them
can,
all.
Talk to your DM about it.
Mhm.
You know, the sort of the way that so the thing that really impresses me about Matthew is the way that he has handled Rook despite us not knowing literally anything about Dungeons and Dragons
Yeah.
when we started playing. So for example, Rook doesn't have a limited set of spells in terms of his spell book. He just has the player's handbook. And then he went out and he brought Mordenkainen's, I think. No, Xanthar's. With
The one with the
set-
beholder on it.
Yeah, Xanthar's guide with the set
Yeah.
of extra spells in it. So he basically has access to every spell in the game, and we're sort of both in two minds about that now. You know, so much further down the line with so much more experience, where we both think like narratively, and also so like you know, to manage the amount of reading basically and flipping through books and stuff that he has to do, that it would have made more sense for us to do it the way you're supposed to do it, which is where you start with a few spells and you learn a few innately as you level up, but then you can find others in the world to transcribe them into your spell book. Like that would have been really cool if I had known what we were doing.
Yeah.
But we both agreed that having access to everything, being able to choose anything in the wizard's you know, library of spells, has made Rook really interesting.
Fucking yeah, it really has.
It really has. Like his like ability to do things is not limited by what I, the DM, think he should be able to do. And you know, it's D&D, you can take whatever side you want on that argument. But like Kimberly, for example, if you're concerned about playing a wizard, just you know, reduce the amount of spells you have in your starter pool. You've said, but spell components with a crying emoji, they're not honestly. You don't actually have to manage spell components. If you're,
I think the only instance we've ever bothered with spell components is with Summon Greater Demon, where it's like, do you have a
Yeah.
vial of fresh humanoid blood?
With
from
like
the
major
past
clutch
24 hours?
spells, you'll be like, do you have the components?
so there's certain stuff like if it has a gold value next to it, you'll have to
Yeah.
tell me when and where you pick that up, and if you have enough of it to cast that spell.
Yeah, because otherwise you just win all the time,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
And then there's no like
But,
figuring shit out.
Like for example, again, if you're watching season 2 of Critical Role, you'll notice the way that Liam plays Caleb is to describe what he's doing. Like he'll smear a bit of tar on his hands, or he'll use a bit of copper wire to cast a spell. Those things you don't actually have to worry about. Like, you don't have to keep a track of what spell components you have. You'll have an arcane focus, or a component pouch, and the game just assumes that you have what you need. Unless, like, you know, your component pouch is stolen, you don't actually need to keep a track of those things, or buy new ones, even. Realistically, the game just assumes that you would restock and do all of that whilst you're doing those things, because that's boring.
Yeah, as a DM, you're pretty good at like. You're pretty relaxed in a lot of sense. Like, you're not super pro strats. You're more of you're up for telling a good story as opposed to playing by every single rule, which is what I really enjoy. I think that's great. And like, if you think something's completely ridiculous, then you will sort of add some limitations. But a lot of the time, you're pretty chill, because
Yeah, whatever, man. It's not real.
yeah, and we're allowed to have fun.
If I will say if the spell component costs money, then you need to prove to me, or I assume your DM, that you have actually purchased it. You've made an effort to buy it in town. And
If you in your home campaigns, people in the audience want to use a spell with gold value, you have to get a doctor's note from Jenny to give to your DM.
And if the component is consumed, you'll need to keep a record of that. Like, for example, in Hero's Feast, you need a gold chalice or whatever. That gets consumed, so you need to purchase those. The Summon Greater Demon, for example, the way that spell works is that, yes, Rook Lunara can summon a Greater Demon onto the field at will. If he wants it to not attack him, after it's done attacking whatever he summoned it to attack, then he needs to have a vial of fresh humanoid blood.
Yeah.
From a corpse, specifically. I forgot to
specify from a murdered person.
Uh-huh.
That's less than 24 hours. I don't think it has to be murdered per se, but from a corpse,
Yeah.
Which is what is the big limitation, right? That's what makes summoning that demon the risk. But it is fun.
Yeah. That's that's the thing that I cannot stress enough about, like, D&D and role-playing games. Like, yeah, definitely have rules so people don't take the piss, and like, so it's like, have it a little bit controlled in a sense, so everyone's sort of on the same page. Yeah, it's still
a game.
Yeah, but like, don't get angry if someone like uses a cantrip wrong.
Yeah,
it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, what's the point? Like,
it's all good.
The thing really for me is that like Dungeons and Dragons, and indeed tabletop RPGs like Dungeons and Dragons, are essentially like collective puzzles, right? Like, the challenge and the fun is finding the ways around the limitations within the limitations.
That's like some of the most fun shit, is like coming up with like really out of the box workarounds for stuff.
Yeah, like I enjoy combat for that reason, right? Like, it is essentially one long puzzle that you have to work out. It's like playing chess.
I was just about to say it's 3D chess, but with more like knives.
Yeah, like Vulcan chess, if you've ever seen that. It's like
yeah.
But it shouldn't be. Well, I mean, I was going to say it shouldn't be stressful. What I mean by that is, like, you personally should not be upset by it. It's a game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, it can certainly be high stress in the moment, because you're just like, fuck, I don't want to get punched by this imaginary, like, whatever. But that particular stress is part of the fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's stress you sign up for, and there's stress you don't.
Yeah.
I think, like, because I've experienced this, if, like, things are getting a bit too serious in your head, that's the time where you kind of have to, like, step away for a minute, give yourself a break, remind yourself of what it is. It's a game. Just calm down, and then come back when you've chilled out. Give yourself a break.
Let's have a look at the chat. No, that's my mug. Right, so you can't just draw blood from a volunteer. Yeah, because that would be super easy, right?
Yeah.
Then Rook would just smear his own blood everywhere like a psycho.
He would.
Oh my god, he would.
Like, you walk in on him cutting his wrist and smearing his blood everywhere, and you're like, "You okay?" And he's like, "Well,
you good?
I'm setting up an ambush."
Freaking Gabriel in the chat recommending Z's videos about spells and stuff. Which I believe you started watching recently, JB, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we both have.
Yeah.
When we joined the Animators Guild, and we're in the peer group. She's in, I don't know, she's in bed and
she's doing that weird thing.
she's complaining because now she's got to knead again.
Right.
She's got to knead the bed sheets again. Yeah. When we joined the Animators Guild, I had never heard of Z before.
No, neither had I.
I hadn't watched any of Dingo's stuff. Like any of these people, I either had sort of vaguely heard of them, had met them through Bards for Bards, or had no idea who they were. So I sort of did like some cursory research, like a creep,
Yeah.
to see who they were and what sort of stuff they were making. And yeah, Z stuff is great.
Yeah.
I really like him. I would fight you to the death to protect him.
Yeah. He's a good egg.
He's so good.
Yeah, super good lad.
Yeah.
And makes super good content. So
Yeah,
and
so
it's
so
very
good.
definitely very informative for magic
They're all
and mechanics.
really nice bunch.
Yeah. Everybody is great.
Mhm.
Everybody. Yeah, those of you who have seen our Art versus Art series, you should definitely go watch that and get a little taster of the good D&D community.
The good. Wait, who was in the most recent one again? Was that one of Ink's ones?
Yeah,
I think,
Ink was the
yeah.
most recent with the
Yeah.
flying swords. We've got another one of Ink's to come.
Ink, the funny lad.
Which he unfortunately so we asked these people to do Gesture Actor, Toy Draw stuff, Callboy Shane and _Ink to record these Art versus Arts with us so that we could, because we knew that we were coming up to the end of chapter 3 and we kind of needed to like just bulk record and get some stuff together so that we could concentrate on the chapter. So like in like a week, in like 3 days, like I whirlwind organised a bunch of these recording sessions and we felt like we had to put them out in order because we didn't know what we had been saying in the previous ones.
Yeah.
Like we might have been referencing them. So Ink unfortunately has the burden to fall last, and I don't want him to feel like we don't value his like second episode, because we do. I think it's really funny. Like the ending actually was so good, it really blew me away. But because now we're at chapter 3, we are like kind of juggling what other content is going around the chapter and the release and all of that kind of stuff. So I don't know, sometimes Ink is in watching these streams, but if he isn't, go subscribe to his channel. I think he's really funny.
100%.
Hell yeah.
He has another episode to come. Amy, what are your pronouns?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Okay. What? I mean, you're not offended.
That sounds about right.
You're not offended by she, her, or they, them.
No.
Offended, they're not.
You dabble in a
don't know.
he on occasion, my love?
Pardon?
You dabble in a he him on occasion?
No, him's not for me.
Cool.
I don't know. Honestly.
She, her, they, them.
Yeah.
Together. You would take any of those?
She, they, I usually go for. I'm quite fluid in the sense. See, I was having this thought earlier. Like it varies on the day, but I recognise myself as just like a human, as a lot of us do. But when it comes to gender, I'm like, I have no idea.
Dude, every time, because like sometimes this pop up in the comments of like videos and stuff, people like, and it's nice to be able to answer because people want to just check. But like, whenever anybody asks about your pronouns, I do get blasted back to like the freaking fantastic like Thorin from The Hobbit kind of like makeup tests you did back in uni.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
once or twice.
Yeah.
They
Fucking-
looked so cool. A beard really suits you. I will say that.
Yeah, I did put a beard on my face. I looked very handsome.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but my real sort of trouble with my gender is when I imagine people perceiving me.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of my problem with she, her is like the audacity of white men, which is like the footnote to my to everything.
Yeah. Like,
Gender is a construct.
it's... Oh, yeah. I don't know. It's a weird... I'm happy that I'm not afraid to talk about it. Like, it's just trying to find the right words to say it. Because, like, Me as a person.
Oh, apparently you guys are echoing.
Oh,
we are. Uh-oh. Don't know what caused that.
Echo.
Is it
Hello?
is it me echoing? Is it Amy?
Just
No.
No.
What's causing that? Hang on a minute.
I haven't touched anything.
apparently the Discord input sounds fine for some reason, so it's just something on your microphone.
I've muted and unmuted. How's that?
Hello? Hello?
Oh, it might have just been like,
Cleo. Sorry, what?
hello? How does that sound?
Emma. If you'll ever watched H2O. I'm just gonna close the living room door again because Ollie's editing music for spoilers.
Woohoo. Oh, apparently it's on the betterment now. Whoa, Ignis!
Whoa!
Oh my goodness!
What size is any other pseudo dragon compared to an apple? You know, out of general non-shenanigans related curiosity. Thank you for the 200 knockbucks.
Thank you for the knockbucks, Ignis.
Ignis, my personal vikinger. How big is she in comparison to an apple? I mean, she couldn't eat a whole one.
She's like the size of a house cat.
Is she that big?
She's not
I always
big
imagined her
though.
about the size of like,
Yeah, well, Boo is
you know,
big for a cat.
main body is like the size of about 2 apples next to each other, and then she's got like tail.
She's somewhere between a collection of tropical fruit and a house cat.
A collection of tropical fruit.
If she ate an apple, she's not a snake, she can't unhinge her jaw, but I imagine she would look like she had, she'd be very round from carrying all of that food inside of her.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, she'd look like the frickin' apple Pokemon from the recent games.
How big is she? She's probably probably 35 centimeters overall, but that's not if you pulled her out, stretched her out, she'd probably be longer because she's got a tail and a long neck. So she'd probably be 60 centimeters if she laid really, really flat, really, really straight.
If she went full pancake.
Yeah, from tip of tail to a boop of snoot.
Everyone's
what if I do this?
understandable. That's alright. I think Amy's microphone is just matching the void energy.
It's taking a massive dump.
Weird. Don't know why that's a thing. Thank you for
What if I
the
turn my mic down a bit?
the
How's that?
knockbucks, Leo, Ignis.
Oh, could we have been echoing through Alex's Discord? Could it have been feedback through the Discord?
I don't think so. I've got my headphones on.
Oh no. Alright.
Yeah. I don't know why that happened all of a sudden.
It just does that sometimes. It's really annoying.
Yeah. Weird. Oh hey, it's 8 p.m.
It is.
Blimey.
Oh wow, it didn't feel like that long at all.
How long do you want to keep going?
I don't mind. It depends how much we've got to talk about.
I mean, you know me. I talk for yonks.
Does the echo like a glitch echo?
that probably helped.
Why is it being like this?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
Is it? Do you think maybe it's the options rectangle?
I jigged it. My mic's not plugged into the options.
Oh, it's not. Okay, never mind then. Who knows? Pancake.
Void.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, let's just carry on and pretend it's not happening.
How annoying is it?
If it's annoying, we'll just stop here.
And the colours on this turned out great, dude.
Thanks.
I can't see it. let's have a look at the chat. Oh, we were talking about gender. And it's very confusing. At Jenny, do you do anything special to psych yourself up for DMing aside from the joy of tormenting players? Do I psych myself up? I don't think so. If this is helpful to anybody, I still get nervous before we start. Like our most recent game was the first one in a long time. I felt more nervous about that than I did than I do when we sort of play regularly, because it's been the first one in a while. I don't know if I do anything to psych myself up though. Like, I don't even read my notes beforehand. I'm not a great DM. Like, in terms of knowing the game and being prepared and stuff, a lot of it's off the cuff. I was on a DM panel in April during Bards for Bards with Jess Jackdaw, Felix, who is the DM for Fool's Gold, and Davy Chappie. And it was apparent to me after that those conversations and answering those questions that I'm a good DM for this group of people. I am not a good DM.
I think good DM is a very broad term though, and it's definitely subjective, because I would argue that you're an excellent DM.
Oh,
yeah.
Thank
I assume I do have some kind of bias in that front.
Like, I am for you because I know you all really, really well. And I can sort of like, I know what buttons to push, right? I kind of have a good sense of what you're going to do, but like, I know that you're unlikely to choose to do certain things, right? But for example, I think Davy, if you're a member of his Patreon, you can join games that he runs. And he runs like 5 or 6 games a week.
Dang.
I couldn't do that.
No.
That's really impressive.
Sounds terrifying.
It does sound terrifying. Like, outside of, like, I don't know how he maintains 6 independent plot lines, I don't know how I think I would struggle with the storytelling doing it to other people, but you know, there's always the future and learning. I have thought about what it would be like to do something like that, where to get a group of people, like fans or whatever, together to DM for them, but I think that would probably be a disaster. Let's have a look. I have 4 hours of RS tomorrow because it's mandatory for the curriculum. I assume RS is religious studies.
Oh.
4 hours of it seems like a lot. The fudging the dice conversation was great. Yeah, it was, Ray. Mostly because I felt like I was at some point I stopped talking because I realized like they were talking generally and I was still defending myself. But yeah, again, right? Like, I fudged dice rolls because I kind of know like the beats, right? I don't do it very often. I was like, oh yeah, I do it
it's
all
not
the
like
time.
every single roll, but for big things that maybe need it.
It was really funny. I was like, oh yeah, I do it all the time, and Felix was like, well, I don't really do it because it takes away a player's agency, and I was like, yeah, he's right. You shouldn't do it. I was so easily convinced. Oh, Kimberly, you don't need to feel bad about that. It's the truth, and the truth is always good.
What is Kimberly feeling bad about?
Because Kimberly was the person who asked the question about fudging dice rolls. And I was like, I always do it. I want to win. And Jess was like, Jenny!
I know, their reaction when you were like, I want to win. And then they were like, whoa! I was like, did you guys not know this?
I'm like, obviously it's not but like the bad guys are playing to win. And like I don't fudge. Here I go again. See, I'm not fudging rolls to make them hit you.
Yeah.
Or to do more damage to you, or whatever. But if I think it would be really fucking rad for them to get away in this instance, and like have you guys do like a chase sequence.
I fucking hate chase sequences. I just want them to go away. Leave
Well,
me
they're trying
alone.
to get away. That's why they're running.
Then I might be like, whoop. You know, he does make that saving throw. You know, who knows?
If you're like, I don't want this particular villain's story to end right here.
Yeah, that too. Sometimes you're just too good. Sometimes I fuck up the balancing.
Dude, can we take a minute to just appreciate Jenny's fucking outstanding craftsmanship of bad guys?
Oh my god.
Because, like, some of my favorite, like... My favorite characters in like the games we've played have been ones where I'm like, oh, this person's an asshole, but they're so good at it.
Man, Jenny has made some characters that have caused some serious anxiety, but like in the best way.
My favorite thing, Alex, is like when you are like drawing bad guys for whatever reason and you send them to me for approval and you're like, the file is called bastardman.jpg.
I have several bastardman.jpg drawings of different characters.
Like Bastardman Jr. Yeah, so good.
Bastardman Jr. in particular, because I know exactly which character that is specifically. Mwah. Excellent.
Hell yeah, he's that Bastardman Jr. is up there for me. Possibly one of the greatest characters I have ever made. Like the talking so vaguely here, there's this bit where you guys meet him,
Hate him,
and then there's like they let you talk to him, and there's like a little bit of conversation. He says something to Brio. That session, right? That instant. It's like,
yeah, that was so good.
The looks on your faces, I was like, I've got a winner here.
Dude, Matt's fucking reaction to the shit that Bastardman Jr. was saying is like one of my favorite character interactions ever.
So good. It was like both completely in character and completely out of character at the same time.
Yeah. Oh man, it's just so good.
I think a few people in the fandom know what's going to happen in Chapter 3 because of the first speed paint.
I can't remember what Alex said, that was so long ago.
What?
I mean, I don't think they do know what's going to happen in Chapter 3.
Oh, I don't think you do.
No.
No.
It's not like...
I would say assume nothing,
Yeah.
but be prepared for anything.
Me. I'm not going to fudge most of the time unless a bad roll is going to kill a PC in a really uninteresting way. Yeah, that's a really good point too. Yeah. If, you know... I can't think of an example, but I would, like... I'm very precious with the PCs, often too precious. There are a couple of instances where I have recruited other people to play bad guys alongside me, and like I have actually ended up relying on their emotional distance in order to do the job.
Yep. Because certain times you've enlisted people to come and do the villain shit, and they've just stone cold gone in on like the hardest fucking character choices and shit, and you're just like, oh, alrighty.
And there's a character that like really impacted Hashaan at one point when we saw each other for the first time in forever.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that fucked me off. That fucked me off big time.
That was really cool.
Can we know how long Chapter 3 is going to be time-wise? I don't remember off the top of my head. More than 10 minutes. Less than 15. I think.
Yeah.
Around that.
Sounds
I
around
think.
there. Yeah.
I can't remember.
Between 10 and 15, as far as off the top of our heads.
Yeah.
I think I'm done.
Yeah?
Nice.
For
Cool.
now.
Alright then. Well, unless you want to do
look
like
it down.
doodle requests or something for 20 minutes, then we can call it here. Yeah? You want to call it?
Yeah, I think I'm done.
Alright then. Alright my
Nice.
dudes. Let's just have a quick look at the calendar, just make sure that you Obviously today's Wednesday. In 2 days' time on Friday.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
It's Wednesday, my dudes. On Friday the 9th, there's some big stuff happening. Chapter 3 comes out. Join us on Alex's channel, ABD Illustrates, at
Yes, hello.
7 p.m. BST. That's UTC +1 for a little pre-game shindig where we can get hyped together at 7:30 p.m. BST UTC +1. We will either be pulled into the premiere of an episode by
The YouTube
itself,
automation,
or we will call the stream off and we will meet you in the premiere of Chapter 3.
And then did we mention we're doing a little after
Yep.
on here on Wizards?
When the episode finishes, there'll be a short break whilst we run around the internet and post everything everywhere. And then at 8 p.m. BST UTC +1, we will be on the Shrieking Wizard Co YouTube channel for the post-game talk down.
After party.
Yeah. Analysis of how the match went, if you will.
Yeah, bring your questions.
Yeah, bring your
Yeah.
questions and stuff.
We'll do some Qs and we'll do some As.
Oh, damn it, will I not be able to post the Discord thing like I did Chapter 2? I don't remember what you mean, Darren Soz. You're going to have to be a little bit more explicit with me.
Oh, you made something, an image for us to scream at before. Or before Chapter 3 comes out?
Well, I
Ooh,
mean, if you post
that's ominous.
to Discord, then, and you're in the chat on YouTube, then we can do the thing together. I mean, you know, that's up to you. What you want to do. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Yeah, have a good time.
Please head to, if you're not already, our socials. You can follow us on Instagram, at the Shrieking Wizard Co, on Twitter at swizardco, and also at the story of HHLR.
Because High Hopes Low Rolls was too long for a Twitter name.
And you can also follow us on Tumblr at highhopeslowrolls.tumblr.com. And in these places, basically every day we've been posting backgrounds and other stuff to celebrate for the run-up to this episode, so you can go back and have a look at all of those. If you're feeling like you can or you want to support the show, then you can head to patreon.com/shriekingwizard, where we have a bunch of tiers with updates, background content, extra scenes, behind the scenes, and extra content. What the fuck? And then hopefully some new stuff soon. Everything coming on Friday.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Yeah.
Have a good time.
We'll see you on Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
Bye.
Have a lovely Wednesday, my dudes.
Bye.
Ah.